The Ethereum price, Bitcoin price and everything has been pushed down towards the downside over the last few months. And I told you the other day that's because the US dollar has been absolutely ramping up. But right now, the US dollar is doing something really, really exciting. And what is happening right here is extremely key to see what's going to play out in Ethereum and Bitcoin in the next few weeks. So make sure you stick around and check out what's going on. So this is the US dollar index on the weekly. The US dollar index basically takes into account all the US dollar pairs across Forex, crypto and everything else. And you can see that we have basically been the highest we have been since all the way back in 2001 because we've been forming this huge W pattern. And that could have been a bit scary because potentially you could see that then explode towards the upside, obviously with the US raising interest rates and kind of other things going on. So what's happening right this second is extremely exciting because what we have had is we ran into this area, and it's not just a line in the sand when we talk about support and resistance, but this is a huge part of resistance right here. Drawing a point from this top on 2017, another one 2020, then you can see that we basically form this upper trend line. And when we did break through, it looked like we would come back for support and push back towards the upside. But zooming into a 4-hour chart, you can see that this is basically that trend line here, guys. And you can see it held a support here. We then came higher and then we flipped. And we've kind of been falling towards these lower levels. So what we really need to see is basically for the US dollar index to drop at the bottom of this 101.984. And then we're pretty much off to the races for cryptocurrency, in my opinion. Basically, this is why we've seen a little bit of a turnaround in crypto over the last sort of week or so, because of obviously this decline in the US dollar index. So this is so important right now. It's way more important than lots of people are giving it credit for. So jumping into the Ethereum US dollar chart, guys, this is on a 4-hour chart. We can see something quite interesting has been playing out. We've had this trend line pushing towards the downside. Ultimately, when we have prices being pushed down like that, eventually we will normally expect a break towards the upside. And as you can see here, over the past sort of 16 to 24 hours or so, we have had this push. Crucially as well, you can see that we've now broken this high, forming somewhat of a double bottom pattern, which ultimately should be pushing towards higher levels, expecting around $2,192. So that level, guys, 2,194 is pretty significant because that's in line with this bottom area here. So as I've talked about that, guys, bringing up to this level, $2,194 pretty much coincides with this bottom here. You can see that this region through here is a very key line of now resistance for Ethereum to have to break through. Because we're seeing the US dollar falling through, we could potentially see something like this playing out. Now, whether we will see a further drop and a lower low than this, actually a few days ago I was pretty sure that we would. Right now, because of what's happening in the dollar, if we don't see a bounce coming in the DXY and DXY slides off the face of that cliff, then we're going to see probably a fairly sharp increase in the Ethereum price that actually might take us a bit by surprise. For the last few weeks, guys, we've just been putting in these lows going down and down and down. What we really need is a higher low that will show after some sort of a bounce, and a push like that is what Ethereum needs, because that will bring us into play on this larger falling wedge pattern. And ultimately, these do more often than not break towards the upside. If it does break towards the upside, we could expect to see a return. Notice it will come potentially lower before being pushed. And then on next sort of line in the sand, we're looking up towards $3,433, which obviously right now seems a world away. That's significant because it's this high here, and you can see previous sort of other areas of resistance and support. Key areas to be looking at. Also, really importantly, this is looking at Bitcoin on the daily. You can see that we are still playing around in this level here, and we are still sort of finding support. Right now, it's starting to print a green weekly candle. We haven't seen a green weekly candle in the Bitcoin price for the last 8 weeks, which is a record for Bitcoin. Never in the history of Bitcoin has it seen 8 consecutive red weeks. Could this be the first week that we see a green candle printed? Obviously, it's Monday. There's another 6 days left until that candle is printed, so a lot of things can happen in the space of a week. But if Bitcoin can start pushing back above $31,000 and beyond, then it's going to be looking a lot more stable, and we could well be then looking for a continuation towards the upside. All hangs in the balance with the US dollar and everything around that. So let's pay attention to what's going on with the DXY, because right now the Bitcoin Ethereum chart look a bit sketchy, but they're starting to look a little bit safer. The longer we spend above these key levels, the more confidence there's going to be in the market. The fear and greed index is starting to climb a little bit out of the fear where it has been for quite some time now. You could get people starting to feel a bit more confident about putting their money into crypto, which maybe they haven't been doing for the last period of time. I still feel fairly comfortable buying at these levels. Obviously, go away and do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just looking to accumulate at these levels because if we do see a pump, then obviously I'm in the money, and if I do see a bit of a drop, I can just go and load up with some more, bringing down my dollar cost average. I don't really see Ethereum going significantly below the levels that it's put in around the sort of $1,700 mark just last week. So I think these levels are still great to be purchasing Ethereum at. Guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, then please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out more than you know. And if you're new to the channel, then make sure you subscribe to the House of Crypto to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other cryptos. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.